All right, what's up, guys? We are back with another podcast episode. Will is actually, him and I are always remote, but he's actually in Texas right now, so thanks for hopping on while you were busy working.
Yeah, man. Austin, Texas. I was busy working with, I'm here to help record some stuff for Zane once again, and also to record a pod with Brian Lim from Building Pickleball, and just kind of playing and getting to know the Austin pickleball scene a little bit better. It's super hot out here. I think they told me they had, somebody said 30 days of just 100-degree plus weather.
No, I just saw that, actually. Another friend in that area said the same exact thing, 30-plus days of 100 degrees, which is insane to me.
No, it is insane. I played early in the morning, and thankfully, Zane and I, when we record his videos, it's indoors at a facility. It's on a pickle roll court that's on top of wood, so it's not ideal, but, it's better than being outside. And then if I'm playing rec games, I've played late in the evenings where there's a place with lights, or I've played early in the morning. And even early in the morning, like just this morning, it was pretty hot, but there was cloud cover, so yeah, it wasn't too bad. Nothing that I'm not used to be quite honest.
Dude, you might be the content creator that creates or helps create the most content for other people.
That is probably true at this point. Yeah.
Like you're with Brian, Jeff, me, Zane,
Selkirk. With Kyle, Jay.
Yeah. You're everywhere, man. Yeah. But you know what? It's good. People can't escape you. You've got your hand in all the pots.
I'm everywhere. I think Brian and I go over that in his pod, so you'll definitely have to follow him and check out the Building Pickleball podcast for when my episode airs. To see that conversation. I know you're excited about that. You're excited for Kyle's episode and probably your own episode.
Dude, I guess I never mentioned that on the podcast. I think I just forgot. But if you guys aren't already, go follow Building Pickleball on YouTube. He runs a podcast / YouTube channel, and he does a lot of interviews with people who are kind of up and coming in pickleball, or they've founded companies, or just all sorts of people who have interesting stories.
Right.
And he did one with me a while ago, which was probably the most enjoyable interview I've done to date. I think he's just very good at interviewing. Go check his stuff out. He just did one with Will. He's working on Kyle. He's got all sorts of people in the pipeline. So go check him out.
Yeah,
he makes great stuff.
Yeah, he's really just focusing on the people who are building businesses around pickleball, or like pickleball adjacent kind of industries, etc. And I think that's an interesting angle to kind of look at if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. And now that you're there, while you're there, you can hound him for me to get Kyle's done, because I really want to see Kyle.
Yes, he's working it. And I thought he was going to give me a studio and everything too, but he went all out for Kyle. He didn't go all out for either you or me.
Hey, yours is still an upgrade from me. You were in person, at least. Mine was digital. Though he did it like how you and I do the podcast, which is plenty acceptable. It's still very enjoyable.
Okay, well, we'll get more into that in a bit. Let's go through the list of things that you have. News and updates. Team Saw won last week. What is Team Saw?
You already forgot? Remember when we were talking about the Falcon and we were like, are you Team Saw or are you Team Pistol?
Oh, I already forgot. Team Saw.
Dude, Team Saw won by a landslide. There were people who were on your side. So it wasn't like, no one said it, but people were definitely like, that's a Saw, bro.
Dang. Okay. All right. I will.
So shout out to everyone who was on Team Saw. Maybe one day.
Did you go through the comments and count them? Was it in the comments, or did you put an Instagram post, or what?
I didn't count it or anything, but I was just, reading the comments from the episode, and it was just, you could tell the vast majority were for the Saw.
Okay. All right.
But you know what I will say? Here's what I will give you credit for. So I still don't think it looks like a pistol in any regards, but if you're talking about like a sci-fi movie, like one of those blasters or something, I could totally, it's like something from like Guardians of the Galaxy, could totally see that.
Yes, that's what I imagine when I see that. Yes. I would, what? That is, Halloween's coming up. If you want to kind of do a cosplay costume of, Peter Thiel, like Guardians of the Galaxy but pickleball, like kind of themed, a little mix and match, I think that would actually be kind of cool. If you do that, take a photo of it and send it to us. We'll definitely share that for sure. I think that would be hilarious.
You know what might have made it even more even is because someone even commented this, and I was like, how did I forget? They were like, it's a cutting board. And I was like, dude, that totally does look like a cutting board.
Oh my gosh, a cutting board would win hands down.
I was going to say, I think if it was Team Saw versus cutting board, it would have been really tight.
Yeah. I might come out with a cheese board on that with, charcuterie or whatnot.
Yes. Also, thanks to whoever, someone did comment, and now that Isaac is editing the podcast.
Yeah.
On Pickleball they call him Jamie. Maybe we need to make a nickname for Isaac. But
why can't it just be Isaac?
I mean, I don't know. You can't give away the real identities, but I guess we've said it already, so
people know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, someone was like, "Hey, it would really help if you put pictures of the paddle," and I was like, "Oh yeah." I don't have to edit this anymore. I can just tell Isaac to go get a picture of that. So thank you to whoever commented that. I will try to remember to put some of the B-roll in the podcast. So thank you for that note, because honestly, it was just an oversight, and I appreciate the reminder.
True. All right.
Yes. All right,
Speaking
so
of paddles,
the next thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The next thing.
Speaking of paddles, Paddle Tech is alive again.
Are they?
We don't know for sure.
Maybe they're alive, but on a lifeline or something, with the IV running through their veins. Because,
oh no,
man,
that's so much more savage than me.
What are you talking about? You made a whole entire tier list video and you went to town on them. Well, you didn't really go to town on them, but the tone of your voice was just, it was like a dagger. It was, a little twist of the dagger in the heart.
Well, you know what's really funny? Braden from Pickleball Effect commented, and he was like, bro, I would have put them in F tier. And after I thought about it more, I was kind of like, you know what? I could almost see them going to F tier. The more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I could definitely teeter F tier. But they released their new Tempest line of paddles, which has been 2 years in the works now. And if you watched my tier list video, because I recorded that before the announcement, and then I happened to post the video the day of the announcement, they just kept teasing stuff or talking about it, and then nothing came. So basically, if you look at the specs, all I can personally tell that has changed is that they added some type of coating for grit on the paddle, and they call it iced carbon fiber and perma-spin. So we'll see if it actually holds up. But since Paddle Tech was kind of already not phasing out, but there were better paddles when I came into pickleball, I just haven't used them a ton. I've used them a little bit, and they're definitely far behind everything else. I don't know. What's your kind of take on this whole thing with the graphics barely even changing, and they basically added grit?
Barely changed? What do you mean? They barely changed? Because I didn't see any change at all in my.
Dude, are you kidding me? They added a V3 to the paddle.
Okay.
No, but on a serious note, I think I'm not positive, but I thought some of the colors just changed or were a little more saturated. We're not talking about a big change. It's an extremely minor change.
Wait. So it's carbon fiber. Was the old Paddle Tech? Because I haven't not touched a Paddle Tech paddle in forever. I thought that was mostly fiberglass, wasn't it?
So I think they have lines of paddles. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bantam was the fiberglass ones, because those were the power paddles. And then Tempest, I'd have to go double check, but I think it's always been carbon fiber. And it's funny, people have been saying stuff like, Paddle Tech finally has carbon fiber. And I'm like, I think it always was. It just wasn't raw carbon fiber, which is, people, I think when people say carbon fiber in pickleball, that's kind of what they think of these days, but you can have carbon fiber. Exactly. They're not the same thing. Okay. So I'd have to double check that, but I think it was always carbon fiber.
Well,
for Tempest,
got it. Well, my thoughts are just, I don't know, whatever. It was kind of disappointing, but it was you could have at least changed the graphic. You did the bare minimum,
It did kind of feel like that way. Here's my thing. I don't personally, I'm not if a paddle's good, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's ugly, I'll get over it. I'll use it. But I am dude, you made people wait 2 years. You couldn't just completely refresh this thing and get people at least excited that the graphics change. Like, think the iPhone. Half the time, I feel like people are just excited because the shape changed or it looks different, like the added dynamic island or something. Obviously, people care about some of the other stuff getting better, but when they don't change the design, people are upset. So I just think give your graphic designer a little extra money and let them make a better design.
And then also, I guess, to be fair, we haven't hit with these paddles, so they could be amazing, right?
100%.
And we could just be completely wrong or feel really bad for making fun of them because they could have a banger product out there. But yeah, it was very underwhelming to say the least. And oh man, so you went in on them. Memes of pickleball again, coming with the fire. Oh my gosh.
Memes of pickleball was just way too good. I might pop the memes up on screen, but they're way better with audio, and that'll mess up with the podcast. But just go to Instagram and go to Memes of Pickleball and check them out. I made it into one of the memes, and it
that's right.
made me laugh.
That was so
very
funny.
hard.
Yeah, you made it into the memes. They labeled you as one of the characters in whatever video clip they were using, and I was like, hey man, Chris, you made it. You made it into Memes of Pickleball.
Well, here's what's so funny about it. That meme, I feel like, I mean, who knows? The paddle might be amazing again. And I hope, honestly, for their sake, I hope it's amazing. I hope they're one of the bigger names in pickleball that fell off, and then they just have this like meteoric rise back.
Rising like the Phoenix. Don't they have a paddle called the Phoenix?
Yeah, they do. Phoenix Genesis, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, the Phoenix series.
Here's what I loved about that meme.
What?
I felt like it perfectly... it sums up how some of my reviews are in the past, where it's like, I'm like, no, we're mad about this. And people are like, well, but no, it's fine. And we're like, no, we're mad about that. And then I just go watch the meme. It was so funny. Oh, gosh. Memes of Pickleball is just absolutely legendary. It's the best Instagram account by a long shot.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, that's the Paddle Tech paddle. I have some that should be on the way soon. I hope they're good. And if the perma spin marketing claim isn't just a buzzword and it's actually grit that just doesn't fade, that would be a massive selling point. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest complaints with paddles in pickleball right now is how long the grit lasts. So if they fix that, amazing.
Yeah. How long does your paddles last now? Like with as much playing and drilling that you do?
See, it's a little hard because obviously I'm rotating paddles for reviews, but I've been using the same double black diamond for 3 or more months now. Like whenever the US Open was, I was using it well before that, and then to now, and probably when we go to Kansas for the PPA, that's probably what I'll still be using. And the spin has dropped. I ran a test, and I can't remember if it was like 1900 or 2000 RPM when I got it new. And when I re-ran a test, it was around like 1650. So it dropped, but like I'm still playing with it and I'm not unhappy about it. I know when I go to a new paddle that it's better spin, but it's not like, oh man, I hate this thing now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, since I've been cycling through them as well. And also I haven't been playing nearly as much, but I think I get around, 4 to 5 months of play. And that's if I'm playing maybe 2 to 3 times a week, if that.
Yeah. I mean, some of it just depends how picky you are too, right? Obviously, pros are going to want the absolute freshest grit they can get. If you're a really high-end competitive player, 5.0, going pro, same thing, but I don't know. It hasn't bothered me too much, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that stuff. Cool. One thing I did just want to mention really quick was, so I got to try these snacks called chomps, and it's just a beef stick basically, but it's like, I think it's no sugar, it's more protein and less sodium, so it's like a healthier beef stick or whatever. So first time I tried it, I was like, okay, this is a worse beef stick. And then I kept eating them, and I was like, actually I kind of like the snack, like it's good. I get a little bit of energy when I'm on the pickleball court when I'm hungry, so it's nice there and it's easy to carry around. So here's the thing, I went through all my chomps and I was like, my brother called me and he's like, dude, the store is having a giant beef stick sale and they're huge. Like these beef sticks, I'll put video of this on the screen so people can see. I went at like 9:30 or 10 p.m. to the grocery store, and I just took handfuls of these beef sticks. I was like, I'll eat them for pickleball. And I was like, they might even taste better than the chomps, okay? So I go, first of all, I go to self-checkout, and dude, when you scan like 30 beef sticks and you're like, and the only person there is the person watching the self-checkout, and she just watches you go beep, 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 beep on the same beef stick over and over.
Isn't there something where you just scan one and just change the number on the screen or something?
There very well could have been, but I wasn't aware of it, so I took the really long approach. I felt, honestly, it was embarrassing because here's what I left that grocery store with. Are you ready for this, Will?
Yeah.
I left with like a little drink for Sarah, like one of those ice drinks.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like 30 plus beef sticks, and that was it. And I was like, this
sustenance for the next month.
Yeah, it's so bad. Anyways, I get home, I eat one of these beef sticks, and I was like, wow, this is, also the reason I went to the store, if I didn't already say it, each beef stick was like 50 cents. So that's why I bought so many. I was like, they're dirt cheap. Anyways, the regular beef sticks, they do not taste anywhere near as good as the chomps. So I will probably still eat them because I bought 30 of them. Yeah. I'm not going to throw them away, obviously. but I will say, if you guys are looking for an on-court snack, go check it out. I enjoyed it. They're not sponsored. I don't have a code or anything, but check them out. I thought the food was good, and I will probably be eating these on-court more, and maybe it'll help curb my muffin addiction at tournaments.
Oh yeah, the sugar-heavy muffins that you like to devour before like a game.
Hey, no sugar in the chomp. So
okay, all right. This is the most I thought. I would have never thought I would be talking about beef sticks this much, but here we are.
Same. Neither did I, but I thought
it must have been really good.
Know.
Like this must have been an epiphany for you because you made a whole entire section, a topic on our podcast about these beef sticks. That just goes to show you either that or the news cycle in pickleball is just very slim right now. And
both. Both.
Okay.
Because I do like them and I figure people want to know, but also there's just not that many exciting things to talk about.
No. It's honestly great that, because honestly, when I go to a tournament or an event, food and snacks is somewhat low on the totem pole for thinking, for me at least, of what to bring sometimes. Like there might be one or two like little pieces of fruit, but yeah.
Yep.
When I think about protein though, yeah, not so much. So yeah, I'll give it a try,
exactly.
man. I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Comment down below.
Try it out, let me know what you
in
think.
the comments what your favorite snack is that you like to bring to tournaments or just out on the court when you're playing rec play, because we know that some of you out there are out there for hours on end in a session. Have you ever met people, you think like, oh man, I play a lot of pickleball. Like I'm out there for like 3 hours at a time, maybe 4. And then you meet somebody, right? Like you saw them in the morning, 8 a.m. You go out, you're done. You go out for lunch and you come back in the evening, then they're still there. You're like, whoa, what's going on? You know who does that? Justin, my buddy Justin. You remember Justin?
I believe it. Yeah.
He's out there for the whole day sometimes. Like he's bringing out a whole picnic basket. He's got drinks, got everything going on, whole baguette. A little smorgasbord of just food. And I don't know. Well, I guess he lives in LA, so I guess weather's probably nice. He can stay out there. But yeah.
And you don't want to drive in traffic.
This is very true. Very true.
Anyways, last thing, just on kind of like a news or update thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought I'd want to just put out a feeler in case anyone had any advice. So I'm gonna be looking to buy a house probably in the next year. Like I'm starting to look a lot more aggressively. I still need to save up like more of the down payment and just some other stuff or whatever to like
guys,
more comfortably buy it.
Them affiliate sales is doing work for you right now. If you're looking to buy a house now, shoot. Everybody congratulate Christopher Olsen. Shoot.
Dude,
future new
the
homeowner.
Interest rates, though, they suck. They're crazy.
What
like
are they at right
interest
now?
rates in my area are like 6.5 to 7.5%. Like 2 years ago, it was like 2%.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, that kind of makes sense where the market is at right now. Something's got to give, though. But
that's the thing. The house prices haven't come down.
well, here's the thing. With the topic, I just want to know, there must be some sort of statistic out there, right? I wonder if the value of your home or property goes up if you put in a pickleball court. I'm sure it has, but
Almost certainly it has to.
what if, okay, but here's another thing. What if you are in a community that has, public or pickleball courts, would the value of your homes in that community go up or potentially go down because some neighbors find it extremely annoying and loud and obnoxious?
I can't imagine it would make it go down, but that I will say that is one thing I'm worried about, is trying to find a house that is either there's enough trees or enough space to where it's not too close, because I mean, one of my friends that has a court, I've asked him, and only one neighbor has complained. Okay. And it wasn't really a bad complaint. He was just kind of like, yeah, we just built this new deck, and just the noise or whatever is just kind of loud. So there's that. So I am trying to figure out how that's going to work. But the main thing I wanted to know is, for people who have built a home court, either if you could break down your cost in the comments, or also just if there are things when you built your court you didn't expect or you wish you had known, etc. I'd like to know all about the process, because I'm just trying to because that's going to be the highest priority, is getting a court with the house so that I don't have to go places to film my videos or whatever. Business write-off or whatever.
Right. That'd be nice. I think the most important thing is just to make sure your courts most likely are facing the correct direction, which is north. They go north-south. And if you do...
I do need to write that down, because I always forget that's a thing.
Yeah, you need to go north-south. So if you might find a piece of property, then it might be able to fit a pickleball court, and it might be perfect. But unless there's, tree coverage or whatnot, if you can't have it north-south, then either in the morning or at sunset, someone's looking to the sun, and that would suck. Yes. That's one thing. Also, I've talked to a few people who've built courts in their house too. Some of them have them fenced off and enclosed, and some of them have windbreakers. One person told me that when you put in the windscreens and the windbreakers is to have them on the outside of the fence and not on the inside. And then also, yeah, because so what happens is sometimes the wind blows, and if you have it on the inside, and sometimes the whatever you use, whether it's rope or string or zip ties, some of those come off, and then the windscreens will blow onto the court. Does that make sense? So if it's still tied at the top and it's loose on the bottom, it kind of flails in the wind onto the court. So you want to keep it on the outside. And then he says that you should actually just keep them. Well, what he does, at least on a few of the sides, he actually doesn't clip them all down, because sometimes you get strong gusts of wind, and it's, a windbreaker is essentially like a sail sometimes. So you need to cut holes in them so the wind can kind of escape, because if not, if it's a strong enough gust of wind, it can ruin your fence or blow your fence down. So those are just some of the things that I remember talking to a few people who have courts at their properties.
Yeah, see, that's good info. It's stuff like that. And also, I mean, this is way further down the road, because I know I'm probably not going to have money for this anytime soon. I haven't looked at costs, but I can only imagine. My super ideal would be to eventually, it would be build a court first, so then at least in the summer and spring I have the court. But then I want to get to a point where I build a structure over the court and have area for studio or whatever. But this is way down the road. There's no way this is happening anytime soon. But that would be the most ideal, because then
later it's he has a whole entire complex.
I own a facility. Dude, that would be kind of sweet. That would be kind of cool.
Well, all I know is that if you do get it built, the housewarming party, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be your first guest.
Oh, 100%.
So, hey, man, let's go.
Yeah.
Got to Christian these courts.
We're filming content the day that happens.
Oh, yeah. You're vlogging the whole thing. Yeah. I just imagine now I'm knocking on your door, and you open it, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm here. And you're like, wait, who are you? The first time we met. If you guys don't know, the first time I met Chris, I knocked on his door, and then he was like, huh? Do I know you? And I was like, well, technically no, since I came all the way out here, but we've talked before. And you're like, nah, I don't talk to people with less than 1,000 subscribers. And then you're gonna say something like that too. I just see it now.
I'll think of something new and more clever. Be like, I don't talk to people that think the Falcon is a pistol.
I don't talk to people who don't have pickleball courts in their backyards. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh gosh, geez. Yeah, that would be something. But yeah, anyways, if you guys have any thoughts on that, if you know people who have built one, or if you have yourself, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, or email me, whatever's most convenient for you. And then after that, I mean, tell me about your trip in Texas so far, especially because you got to play with Maurice the Grease. And for those that don't know,
Grease, the legend.
that guy is a Facebook legend, mostly for trolling, but he is well known on Facebook.
Right, well known and just in the pickleball community. He just moved here in February. I didn't even know. Honestly, I didn't know where he lived before, but he just moved here back in February, he told me, and he was coming from Alaska, like Anchorage, Alaska. And it was funny because, we left after we played some games, which I'll get into, but he showed me, he said he drove down and he showed me the rickety pickup truck that he had. I was like, there's no way that thing made it through all the way down here from Alaska. He's like, yeah, man, I'm here. I survived. And I was like, oh, damn.
What?
Yeah.
No wonder he has so much time to troll on Facebook before. It's probably nothing to do in Alaska.
Yeah, that's probably right. I have no idea. But yeah, he came here and he lives here now, but he wasn't, what he told me is that he wasn't too excited because he felt like he couldn't get good games in because he's like, oh man, all the pros are here. So if all the pros are here, all the 5-0s who want to become pro are definitely here. And then, the 4-5s and the 4, he just expected rec play to be stronger. But he told me that he had a tough time finding games beforehand. But then he went to Dreamland and then, chance encounter, I think, with some of the pros. Maybe it was Deckel, maybe it was Vivian David. I don't know. But Maurice de Grease is high energy, full of energy. And you can tell he just loves pickleball. Actually, so I met him because Zane asked him to come through to be in some of Zane's next batch of videos as the hitting partner. And Zane's never met him either. And I don't know how they got in touch, but he came through and he said, yo, when I came through, I was telling my mom, I was like, yo, mom, I got invited by Zane. I made it. I made it in the pickleball series. I don't know if he was kidding or not. He was probably kidding. But it was funny because when he came through, he saw me. I think he was more excited to see me than he was to see Zane. And I thought that was hilarious. He was like, that pickleball will. Like,
okay, wait. So you got to tell me. I know you got to play some games with him. What is this guy's skill level? Because I've never even seen him hit a ball.
He's good.
Is he?
He's good. He's probably
4-5 plus or 4-5 and under?
I would say 4-5 even.
4-5 even. Okay.
Yeah, 4-5. If anything, I would go plus. If I had to choose, I would probably go plus. He's got some shots. He's a little tricky, and he also holds the paddle choked up. Callan Dawson, Rob Cassidy style. He definitely got me down the line with some of his little tricky shots. For sure. Like clean winner. I was like, oh, okay, Maurice. Dang, that was real greasy.
That was real greasy. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And, and he has a monstrous serve. Like that serve is like, it is low and hard. And it was tough to return. I'm not going to lie. Like probably.
Okay. So not only legendary memes, but good gameplay as well.
Yeah. Good gameplay. Yeah. That day, it was me, Maurice. Oh, and guess who came out? Mr. Shields. Mr. Thomas Shields came out to play. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, we played a game best of 5. Well, actually, it was a best of 3. What?
Whose team were you on?
Thomas.
No, I need you against Thomas. This is a battle of the pods.
It was a battle. I mean, Zane's on the other side, so I guess it's a battle of the pods.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Who won?
Well, you weren't there. Well, Maurice and Zane clutched it out in best of 5. But here's the thing: we won if it was best of 3, we won. But Zane and Maurice like, no, we're making that 5, and then we lost in the last game. So I mean, you can take it for what you want. We're like, all right.
So it's a tie. It's a tie.
Yeah, we're 1-1. I guess we'll have to redo it again. But also that day, Thomas was playing out of his mind. Like he was like.
So what? He went from like a 3-7-2 duper to like a 3-7-9.
Yeah, something like that. But no. I kid you not. He was playing really good doubles, but actually it was his singles game. He decided to challenge Zane in singles after we played 5 games of doubles. I should have recorded like the first game because it was some of these shots were absurd that he was getting. Like they were having a battle. I was like, all right, Thomas, when is going to be your singles pro debut? Because some of the stuff that he was hitting was ridiculous. And I was honestly very impressed. Me and Maurice were like, our jaws were dropping like, dang, Thomas. So shout out to Thomas, he got some skills. But some days, here's the thing. Some days Thomas plays like a beast, and other days, Thomas is a buster. Like the last time we played in Arizona, missing serves and returns.
I was gonna say when we played in Arizona, I don't know. I should have had a 3-5 shirt ready for Thomas.
Yeah, I think you actually said that. I was like, hey man, Thomas, you want me to give you my shirt? I remember you said something along those lines.
I need to carry, like when we travel, I need to carry like a small, medium, large, like in the 3-5 Forever shirts, just for like funny moments where like I meet someone like a Maurice or something, and like I hit him with a Yates, and then I just pull the shirt out of my backpack, and I'm like, here you go, man. You might want
You
this.
just have it in your back pocket, ready to go.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
really cool though. I'm jealous.
Yeah, no, it was cool to meet him. I also, let's see, met Ryan. I can't pronounce his last name, but he is kind of the founder of the newsletter called The Reset, which is...
Oh yeah, Ryan's a cool guy.
Yeah, very cool guy. He's, if you guys don't know about The Reset, if it's not something you're interested in, but it is essentially a newsletter that kind of showcases and goes over the business side of pickleball, like the happenings within the space, new companies that are coming out. And I'm sure has other plans and ideas for other pieces of content that he kind of wants to write. But things kind of like along the lines of like what I said about real estate. And if you have a court in your backyard or in your neighborhood, if that raises, the prices of your property and kind of things along those lines. I need to check it out a little bit more, but he was there also as a hitting partner for some of Zane's videos. And it was cool just to meet and chat with him. So it was a good time to just kind of meet everybody and get to play with them. Also get to hit too and drill. Jordan, Mr. Briones, you'll be happy to hear that I drilled for a good like hour and a half with Zane nonetheless, and he just totally destroyed me. Like I was like, what the heck? Yeah.
Dude, his newsletter's good. I think in terms of business stuff, it's probably, I'd say almost certainly it's the most in-depth business pickleball newsletter. I actually learned they wrote some stuff about a new facility that's possibly going to come to Minnesota. I think they submitted a bid.
Another one?
Or
Gosh, every single
I know,
other
another
day.
one. But dude, I didn't even know it was happening until I read that newsletter. And I was
Really?
like, you taught me something about my own state. I was like, I didn't even know that was coming.
Dang. Well, yeah, there you go, you see.
Yeah, it's a good newsletter. So check it out.
Yeah. So, that was more or less my time, with Zane. The rest of it was just shooting content with him. Funny enough, when I came here, because I had so much camera gear and equipment, I had to, decide what to bring. And I did not bring a paddle with me. And Ryan was one of the first things he asked me. He's like, oh, which paddle are you playing? What paddle did you bring? And I'm like, I brought none. He was flabbergasted. He's like... It's like I just insulted his mother or something. He's like, "What do you mean you didn't bring a paddle? You're one of the
Dude, he even
paddle
messaged
guys."
me.
Oh no, he messaged you.
He messaged me and he's like, "Dude, Will didn't bring a paddle here." He's like, "I figured like, well, one of the like best paddle nerds in pickleball, he would have had a paddle on him."
Yeah. Well,
And here's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, "Will just likes to travel light."
This is true. I like travel light. Yeah. So pretty much this whole entire weekend, I played with the Vatic Prism V7 Pro that Jeff lent me, and then I played with Zane's paddle, so I got to experience that grit, firsthand. And yeah, that thing is disgusting. I can see why. At least the shots that Zane were hitting with it, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see why people would be challenged in this. Some of these balls are just dipping so aggressively, right?
Sure.
And you're just not used to the trajectory. Like I was mishitting stuff and yeah, I was looking like an idiot, but I think it probably wouldn't have changed that much if, he had a paddle that didn't generate absurd amount of spin. But yeah, I think you should test it, and I would be curious to know what your RPMs are for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, cool. Glad the trip is going well. I want to move on to this last topic we got, because this is probably the most interesting thing to pop up in pickleball this week, and I'm really curious what you think about it, because I definitely have some thoughts. But there is a pickleball reality TV show coming, and I believe the website was pickleballpaddlebattle.tv if you want to learn more about it. I originally saw Riley Newman make a post about this, and just to summarize it really quick for those of you who don't know what it is, It's going to be a reality TV show with 16 contestants that compete over 9 days. And basically at the end, there will be declared one male winner and one female winner that get a pro sponsorship from Pickleball Kingdom for 1 year. And that covers travel, lodging, all of that for 20 events. So that's like a lot.
That's kind of crazy. I watched it. You sent me the link. I also watched the really cringy video that was made by Riley, but honestly, a lot of Riley Newman's videos that he posts are kind of cringy. But
she just went for the throw.
It is what it is.
People tell me I'm the savage one, but I don't know anymore.
Was that really savage? I mean,
did you watch the sizzle reel?
I did watch. That was pretty bad as well.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that one.
It had the makings. It had the makings of being like pretty decent, but yeah. I don't know what it was about it, or the edit, or the cut. But yeah, it was a little tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah,
overall the project seems interesting. I think it's. I don't know.
How do you think they're gonna do this though? Like, here's what. Well, I don't understand how you declare a winner of this. And if it's over 9 days, and I think they're filming it at Pickleball Kingdom, like, okay, I have so many thoughts. One, because reality TV is generally just a little cringy, period. How is that going to translate to pickleball? And then also, what are you doing over those 9 days with all 16 people to narrow down who's the best? Are you going to be like, who can hit more third shot drops into this bucket? And if you hit the least amount, you're out on day one. Like, how's it gonna work?
That's actually a good question. I really didn't think about that much. But whatever they decide, I can't wait for the memes.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. Memes of pickleball is gonna be, because here's my thought. Reality TV always has like a bunch of drama in it or whatever, and I'm already telling you right now, there's no way they're going to have that much drama at one of these.
Oh, they will. Depending on the activity. There's going to be so forced. You think so? It's like they're going to team up to do some sort of challenge, and, you know, they're going to do something where they try and sabotage each other. You just imagine where you have to play against the other contestants, right? Or as a team. And then you sandbag or you do something to manipulate the points to make sure somebody makes it through or not. Come on, that's the thought of that
would
is
be savage.
That thought of that is kind of salivating. I know you listeners out there, listeners right now, are thinking about some way crazier things. Obviously, because maybe some of you watch reality TV, but I don't. But I can imagine there's some events and there's some planning, there's some scheming going on. But you know, it's going to be. Well, if the production quality is pretty decent, I think people will probably watch it.
I mean,
to watch it to make fun of it potentially.
If it's accessible, I will certainly watch it just because it's pickleball and I'm very curious what they do. But this, I don't know. We'll see. I could be completely off base here, but just my gut reaction tells me something about this is going to be a little bizarre, or it'll be one of two things. Either it's going to be really cringy, or it won't be as cringy, but then the content itself is probably just not that entertaining. That's like kind of my guess, but I don't know. If anyone's interested, you can sign up until August 16th, and then I think they're filming like sometime in September, so it's actually really quick. Also, I'd love to know, how are they going to narrow it down? Like, are you just going to base it off of duper? Like, do you have to like submit some? I don't know. I'm just so curious about how you even get picked.
I'm curious as to how we did not hear about this until now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when all the announcements went up. The only thing I've seen talked about this is from Riley, and maybe on PicklePod like forever ago. They quite a while ago they hinted that there was a reality TV show being worked on, but it was a while ago. There was snow on the ground when I heard that last.
I see. Well, if you guys are listening to this, Chris, make sure Isaac puts the link to the videos so that our audience can watch it, and sound off in the comments below if you guys think if you guys think it's cringy or not, or if you think it's going to be good, because I'd be curious to see what you think, because maybe we're just being snobs, because obviously we come from, some filmmaking background, and I don't know, maybe we're just being a little harsh. Who knows?
It very well could be. I could be wrong. You know what? It should just be my motto at this point. Won't be the first time I'm wrong, and it won't be the last.
It's funny.
But I don't know about this one.
It's funny you say that, because you said something about that, and I think ProXR clipped that or reshared that post or something on there.
No, it was they clipped from the pod where I was talking about Zane's paddle and how we were just talking about how it's been getting challenged and all that. So they clipped that, and then I just reposted it and was like, well, if it is insane, it wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong, and it won't be the last.
That's true. Yeah.
But we'll find out. We'll find out. Here's what I will say, though.
Mm-hmm.
I still won't even say I'm wrong about it, because it changed. The grid changed.
Yeah,
I even asked them, and they mentioned that it changed.
No,
so I'm like...
They mentioned it changed. It's
okay.
funny? Zane didn't even know it changed. He was like, what? Because Zane sent me one. He sent you one. And Zane sent me, personally mailed me one of his paddles, like the ones that he has like in his bag. And I told him, yo, the one that you sent me and the one that you have now that you're letting me borrow, it's completely different. He's like, really? So he was surprised.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. But I was like, okay, well, we can't even say that I was wrong on the first one if it changed. I'm like, if you found a way to up the spin, I like, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, will, this next week, I'll probably run some tests on it. So for the next pod, we can give a more definitive update on it.
Okay.
And if it rips, I'm happy for him, man.
All right.
If it rips, it rips.
Back to this reality TV show real quick. What's the name of it going to be? It's a Pickleball Paddle Battle, hosted by the Pickleball Kingdom.
Someone from The Bachelor is like hosting.
Oh yeah. Clayton Eckerd. He was a Bachelor from season something. I think let me pull it right now. Season 26. Oh,
very nice.
So he's going to be the host. Is that what it is? Yes, he will be the host.
I'm also curious how that's going to work. Like, you have a guy who's not. I have no idea if he plays a lot of pickleball or not, but I wonder what that's going to look like. I just don't know.
Hopefully he has. If you're a host and you're going to be talking about it, hopefully you know some stuff about pickleball. Imagine he didn't know and he was the host and he was just saying something random. Well,
that's what I'm saying. If you're like a 3-0 and you're talking about these pros, like, what are you going to say the whole time?
Hey, you're a 3-5 at best and you be talking about pros and stuff all the time. So.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's a fair point. Okay. You got me there.
Franchise awarded base. Oh, you know what? Here, I'm reading some things right now. You get 2 Pickleball Kingdom sponsorship contracts, so one for one male and one female. You'll be awarding 2 Pickleball Kingdom franchises. What does that mean? So do you get a facility? Because that's pretty...
They were saying something like that in the sizzle reel, and I thought they were just saying something wrong. So maybe that is true. But also, I'm really curious what the ownership of that franchise looks like. Like, I have a lot of questions about that too. That's kind of cool.
That is cool, but I have lots of questions about that because you awarded me a franchise. Yes, that's cool, but also at the same time, I don't necessarily work, and I don't necessarily know how to run a facility. Like, I don't what? How does that work? Right? A Pickleball Kingdom franchise for their hometown. Okay, so you'll get the franchise in your hometown, wherever you call home, I suppose. That's also interesting because what if your hometown, I don't know, just can't support pickleball? But also, I'm sure they vet these applicants. They're like, okay, this person is from this city, and
they're from San Francisco.
Oh yeah, you can't. It might be tough to open a franchise there if you're trying to get land and build up, unless you take over an existing facility or structure. And here's the thing: franchises awarded based on audience vote. Oh, okay, so that makes a little bit more sense.
Wait, audience vote as in like they vote for who they think should get it?
Yeah, I guess, to get the franchise. The franchises. I don't know about the winner. I don't know how that's going to be kind of connected. You're right. There's a lot of questions. Now that I'm going through this a little bit more, Also, is there a list of the current applicants right now? I'm curious.
No, I don't think so. I'd assume they wouldn't show us the list just because I'm sure when they whittle it down, but if the deadline's August 16th, like, you and I could submit in theory.
Right. Should you submit? You should submit.
I don't want to be on reality TV. I'd be horrible for that, man.
No,
I'd be horrible.
What are you talking about? You'd be incredible for reality TV.
In what ways would I be good for reality TV?
Because there's so much story behind you, and you run a successful YouTube channel. You're the paddle guy. Like you're a very distinct character and personality. I
just think me being on camera and essentially having to, in some ways, act because that's how reality TV goes.
You're on camera all the time. Easy piece of cake. It's like the cameras aren't even there. It's like Isaac is just following you around, filming you doing drills, and I know you're competitive, like, so I know you'd want to win whatever these challenges are. I think like you'd actually be really good. And if there was some gamemanship involved and some strategy, I know you'd be the one to like think of the most efficient way to see the wheels
this might be
turning
the
your head.
nicest thing you've ever said to me. Actually, I'm not positive because we both think reality TV is not great, but I'm gonna take it anyways.
Okay, take it. Take these compliments, Chris. There you go.
You guys can also let us know down in the comments below if you think I'd be good on reality
How about
TV.
this?
I don't.
How about this? After if season 1 is successful, okay, and we like it, okay, we'll decide to apply. Maybe we can both apply for one season.
But here's the thing.
That'd be actually kind of fun. We both got in.
You already know that there are people who are going to apply. Now, granted, I'm sure it's not strictly just going to be the best pickleball players. Obviously, the people need to have personalities. They can't be just a deadbeat or whatever. But there's no way at like 4 or 5 for both of us, you and I are winning anything for a pro sponsorship for a year.
True. But this depends.
Maybe next year we would, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe next year.
Exactly. And you don't know this. We don't know how the show is going to be structured, what challenges or games. Because if it's just strictly games, then, maybe like our skills aren't up to par yet. But, it could get better. But if there are just random challenges like hitting a target or, like you said, hitting third shot drops into a bucket, some Shea Underwood type shit, who has more experience in doing that than us?
It would be so funny if it was like a voting mechanic and it was like, they had all the interviews and it's like, if you vote for me, I promise you will get like insert popular paddle for free. I will personally mail every single one of you that vote for me a paddle. Something ridiculous. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. Also, I should have said that this reality TV show talk was going to be the kitchen of this episode. I figured if I didn't say that, someone was going to say, where's the kitchen? So just so you know, that is the kitchen portion of this episode.
Yes, you made it to the kitchen, and make sure that you tell Chris in the comments to apply for season 2 if there is a season 2. Yes.
Well, after we just roasted the concept of this, they're going to be like, absolutely no way.
Well,
or maybe they do it, or maybe they do it to embarrass us.
True. I mean, we could be wrong.
I mean, it could be. I hope I'm wrong. Honestly, I do, because it would be great for pickleball to have more of a platform in a way that doesn't make it look bad. I mean, we've all seen those things in the media where it just makes, you're almost like, man, it might have been better if pickleball wasn't on this thing, because now it just makes us look really bad.
And you know what's funny? I'm actually okay with that.
Really?
There's a part of me that is okay with pickleball being still obscure, made fun of, and not taken seriously. That is somewhat the allure of pickleball for me.
Sure, that's fair.
And so when you meet somebody else who's really into it, it just makes that connection more. Like, there's nothing better. Well, I wouldn't say there's nothing better, but to meet somebody or have one of your friends or colleagues or whoever just clown on you because you're playing pickleball, and then you just hit the courts up, and then you have like these other circle of friends who are super into it, and you're all having a good time, and it's like, man, joke's on that whoever that was making fun of me for liking and enjoying pickleball. Like, screw you. Like,
Fair enough. I think the best thing is when you get someone like that on the court who's like, oh, this would be easy, and then they get on the court and they're like, wait a minute,
Yeah, they're getting destroyed.
Hitting like 10 dinks in a row is hard.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks. All right.
Well, anyways, back to this real quick. I think my guess is that it's gonna be a little corny, a little cringy, and I'm okay with that because if it is, I just can't wait for the memes. I'm just waiting for the memes. But if it's good, that's great. But if it's not, I think it's a win-win no matter what, in my opinion. Unless it's an absolute like shit show. And
Sure.
I don't know.
Man, we'll find out. You guys let us know.
Wait. When is this supposed to air?
Down in the comments what you think. I don't know if it had an air date listed on there.
No.
It just had the dates that they were shooting, and then it's going to be months of editing.
Filming begins September 17th.
Yeah.
Speaking of September, Chris, are you going to go to MLP end of September finals?
I'm not planning
finals?
to. No, I think there's supposed to be 3 more total, so that'll be the next one, and then 2 more after that, I think. But I wasn't planning on it. But also, I still have a bunch of free Delta flights from the Southwest credit card churning stuff I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, well, I've got the flights. Like, maybe I should go. I don't know. I'm trying to use them selectively, but now I think sometimes I overthink it, and I'm like, I just need to go to some of these. I don't know. Maybe.
When is the last one?
I don't know. I got to go to their website. Honestly, I haven't looked at what the remaining ones are. I know there's one. I'm pretty sure there's one in California. I'd be kind of tempted to go to that one.
Yeah. Well, let's definitely go to one of those together. I was thinking about going to Atlanta, but I'm probably not gonna go anymore because there's a lot. That's like a lot of trouble. Okay, here we go. I have it. Atlanta, September 21st to the 24th at Lifetime. Los Angeles, California, November 2nd to the 5th. And then SoCal, California at a Lifetime, December 7th to 12th. We should try to go to one of those. Which one? Which one are you feeling?
Probably one of the California ones. Also, it just gives more time to plan if it's not, like the September one.
Okay. Well, I mean, is there a preference for...
Which were the 2 California ones again?
November 2nd and the 5th. The location, I don't know. It just says, SoCal... I'm assuming that's San Clemente at the Lifetime because that's the one that's played at a Lifetime, right? So
whichever one is gets me closer to Jeremy Burns, who is the guy that started this whole 3-5 at best thing, or at least who I first heard it from, because I need a rematch with this guy. He's always texting me, not always, but every now and then he'll shoot me a text and he's like, "You got to come back so we can beat on you," and I'm like, "All right, I'll come back. It wasn't a bloodbath last time. It might be now. They almost certainly train more than I do. So, but I like to see them. They had still one of my favorite groups of pickleball I have played with. They were a ton of fun. So I want to go back and see them.
Okay. Well, yeah. We'll see. But I mean, that's it. That's all I got, man. Do you got anything else?
No, that's all I got. Just some content coming up this week. Got the Alchemy review, and then hopefully the Ronbus Nova review will come out. So you guys can look forward to that.
You've been pumping out this content in that tier list video. Sheesh.
Yeah, the content's been coming. I honestly have got a much more dialed in system as of lately. I'm trying to just kind of schedule things out further. Like I've got my next 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 videos planned out, which feels kind of nice.
Oh, that's good. All right. Well,
sweet. All right. Man. Thanks to everyone who watched this episode, and we'll catch you next week. Have a good one.
See ya.